bone to pick with Mr. Rosenberg about something, man. I remember this had to been about 2-3 years ago. It was my old Twitter. It's been hacked. So I don't even have it anymore. So I don't even have I wish I had the message to bring back up. But man, I remember I reached out to you about like the podcast that we were doing on our couch. It was really it was okay. I reached out to you. I was like, hey man, I started on my podcast. I'm a friend of Kaz. You know Kaz.
Yeah.
Remember this, right?
I actually do now remember this. Yes.
It's like, and I was like on the plane flying home, and I was like about to land, and I was like on Twitter, and I was like, hey, would you mind checking this out? Give me some critiques, some feedback on some things. We're trying to get this podcast up and bumping, man. And then like it took a little bit, but you responded back, and you're like, sound quality's off. Can't listen to it. And that was it. And I was like, what? Okay.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I do.
Okay.
I actually do remember this. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like, and I could be wrong, and I'll own it if I was, that I gave a little more feedback than that. Like I was like, oh, the mics don't sound good. I think I gave some specifics to why it sounded bad. Which is, by the way, important. Look at you now. Quality's up, pictures up, sounds up. I don't want to take all the credit for that, but I like to think.
Like I said, like I could take that. I could have went two ways. When I'm like, man, Rosenberg, screw that guy. I'm never gonna talk to him again. If I see him, I'm gonna have words with him.
But I did listen. I do remember listening though, sincerely.
Oh, thank you very much for like going out of the way. But I was like, man, yo, that's why I recruited Teasy. Teasy recruited Siren over here, who's doing all the sound over there. And then with that connection, we recruited Mike Simmons, Mike the GOAT over here on graphics. And the whole team just came together. And now look at us on the WWE Network. All from Mr. Rosenberg. So
you know what? You're welcome. You're welcome. I didn't know that you celebrated me like this, but you're welcome.
And I love when stories like this come full circle. So I'm just glad. I'm like, yeah, we gotta share this story.
I've always heard very good things about you. The producer of my Complex show, Brian Mann, I know worked with you at MLW.
Yes, I remember.
So Brian was always putting you over to me as just, your previous incarnation of your name is a star. This guy's a star. And I just always heard that. So, I've always been aware of your skill set. So I'm glad we're here and making it happen. And then they said you have like a ne'er-do-well friend who wore sweaters and things of that nature, and he rapped. And I was like, hey, sounds like a great guy. And here we are, the three of us.
Imagine these two worlds colliding and what they could do, the possibilities, man. Wow. Since then, we've been to space.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There is those, like with like the guests you have coming up on the show, the zombies who I've been friends with for a long time, there really is now such a world of people who connect between hip hop and wrestling. It's pretty fascinating. Like I definitely remember the time. I've never been a part of a culture that at some point when I was getting into it did not really exist in a formal way. And now it's like there's an actual community of wrestling hip hop crossover that is very, very real.